All right, welcome back to the Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. Phone lines are open, 412-575-2600. Ron Cook's my co-host tonight. Ben Roethlisberger on your radio show today. Ron, you know, there's all these people are, you know, what I don't get is fans are upset now that, you know, Mike Tomlin talks about New England. That's what everyone's talking about. And they're all upset when he just throws out cliches and doesn't want to talk about it. So what no one wins here.
You know, I wasn't bothered by what he said. It's unusual. I was surprised because coaches usually say, hey, all we're thinking about is the next game. And that's what Ben said to us today. He goes, hey, I got enough to worry about Vontaze Burfict trying to knock me into next week, let alone worrying about New England 2 weeks down the road. And I believe him. I don't think it's a big deal one way or the other. If the Steelers lose Monday night in Cincinnati, which is possible, although they're 16-3 at Paul Brown Stadium, if they lose, I'm not going to blame it on what Tomlin said. I don't believe that.
Me neither. I don't think they're looking past them.
I don't either.
But, you know,
they could get beat, though.
Yeah, Cincinnati's still in the hunt for maybe, who knows how the chips fall, a playoff spot. So is Baltimore.
Baltimore's 6-5. Baltimore's in as of right now.
As of right now.
But I don't think Cincinnati can get there.
Yeah, this game does scare me,
But they loved them.
Monday night.
Yeah,
this game scares me.
I even asked Ben. I asked him point blank. I said, Burfict has hurt Bell, he's hurt Brown, and he's hurt you. Are you worried about him? He goes, you don't go into a game fearing injury, but you also are aware of what they put on tape is what they put on tape, and you be prepared to the end of the whistle and even beyond.
Yeah, this guy should not even be in the league right now. I don't know how anyone can defend him, and I don't know how. And if something happens, I mean, he should be suspended.
He would love to take out somebody. He seems to like to hurt people.
And they hate the Steelers too. So this is this is a huge rivalry. And you know what? The best thing about Cincinnati though is Montgomery Inn, my favorite restaurant on the road.
You like those ribs?
Those ribs are so good. Hopefully you join us at dinner. All right, let's go out to Al in West End. How you doing, Al?
Richie, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Good. It's been a while. Let me run this crazy scenario by you. After seeing the rankings.
Okay.
So Ohio State loses to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Miami loses to Clemson. Georgia loses to Alabama. I mean, not to Auburn. And then TCU beats Oklahoma. Then it comes down to Alabama and Penn State. What do you think?
Penn State has no shot at getting in.
Penn State has no shot. No shot.
None.
Alabama does. In that scenario, it's Alabama.
I think Alabama gets in that scenario. And who else we missing in there?
Nobody. Those are the rankings.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of. So you said you had Ohio State losing to Wisconsin, so Wisconsin's in. Auburn winning that game, right?
Whoever wins,
whoever wins the SEC gets in.
I have Ohio State losing, so they're out. Then you have number 8, I think. Ohio State's 8. They lose, they're out.
Yeah.
Then you have Miami, they lose, they're out.
Yeah.
But Clemson's in now. Clemson is in.
Clemson's
you have Clemson, you have Auburn, and then you have Wisconsin. Then you have a 4th spot.
Now, what about Oklahoma? You have them losing to TCU.
I have losing to TCU.
Then Alabama would get in.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
Alabama's 5, they would get in.
I don't think there's any scenario.
I don't think Bama's resume is any more better than Penn State's.
Except they lost 1 game, Penn State lost 2.
Look, Al, I know you're optimistic and you're a Penn State fan, but there's absolutely no scenario Penn State gets in.
I have not heard any scenario where Penn State gets in.
Yeah, there's no scenario out there.
I mean, people think Alabama's going to get in no matter what. I don't believe that. I think they need some help.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I think they need some help.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see. At that case, you argue that Ohio State gets in before Penn State because at least Ohio State was in the Big Ten championship.
And they beat them twice.
Yeah, and they beat them.
They beat Penn State.
There's no way Penn State gets in. It's unfortunate. You know, maybe if they win one of those games, then you can make an argument. But if that scenario plays out like Al just said,
no way.
Alabama 100% gets in.
Absolutely.
No question about that.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go out to the phone lines, and let's go out to Mike in Homewood. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I just wanted to say that I'm really, really impressed on how Pitt handled Miami. And I also want to ask you, don't you think like they should have one bowl, like the Super Bowl, instead of having Orange Bowl and the Rose Bowl? They should just.
Well, they do. They have the college championship now. That's kind of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
because they have like the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and some other bowls.
Yeah,
and they just have one like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it is.
It is the Super Bowl.
This year it's a Peach Bowl in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
And the champion will be crowned.
Yeah. You know, I had a crazy scenario, and I don't know if I ever ran this by you, Ron, but, you know, in order to do all the bowl games and get people to pay attention, how about changing and making the bowl games the first week of the season? And just do it off preseason rankings, have all the bowl games, and then you could have a big playoff at the end of the year. You don't have to worry about appeasing.
These bowl games are ridiculous.
I know, but, you know.
Other than the championship tournament,
yeah,
none of them mean anything. Okay, I'll give you the Rose Bowl, Orange Fiesta if they're not in the
Chick-fil-A Bowl. Who's watching that?
I mean, seriously, there's too many. There's 39 bowls, so that means 78 teams make the tournament out of 130. It's harder to make the bowls harder not to make it than it is to make it.
Hear me out. You think it's a stupid idea? You play them all. You're going to probably sell out the first week of the season. Then you can pick and choose who goes to those bowl games, and then you have a playoff, a bigger playoff. Maybe you do 16 teams or something at the end of the year. That's the way I would rather do it.
Keep on thinking, Rich. That's what you do best.
That's what I do. I try to think.
That's what you do best.
All right, let's go out to Guy in Ligonier. How you doing, Guy? Guy, what's up?
How soon is Juju coming back, and can we get rid of Eli Rogers? I can't catch a cold.
Well, he did.
I think Juju's coming back this week. Tomlin said today he's very optimistic about him, about Vance McDonald. Eli had a tough first half the other night, but he played better in the second half. Ben still likes him. I know that. But he has not helped himself this year with his drop.
Hey, he did have a big third down catch late in the game. And, yeah, I think I was just thinking at halftime in that game how much of an impact Juju has. You know, I mean, the guy catches almost every ball just like Antonio Brown, and not having him and
well, no one catches him quite like Antonio.
Exactly, and that, you know, that was another amazing catch. But with Juju, I think it's a more efficient offense because he makes some of those catches that Eli Rogers dropped.
Now, let me ask you this. You were at the game. Okay, the throw to Antonio on the sideline. Did it remind you of the throw to Santonio Holmes in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, a little bit.
It had a window to put it in.
Yes.
I know Ben thinks it's one of his greatest throws ever. Antonio, unbelievable catch, just like in the Super. Now, the Super Bowl 43 was a bigger game.
Yeah.
The stage, Santonio Holmes makes that on the sideline. We had Ben on our show today, and I asked him about that play. And the way he described it, he goes, well, I'm under pressure. I'm falling back. He said, I throw the ball. He goes, I know I have to get it over the cornerback, but I have to have it come down before the safety comes in. Do you realize the space that you have to put that ball? And he put it right there. I think it's one of the greatest throws of Ben's career.
And, you know,
it was one of the great catches of Antonio's career.
It's not as, you're right. It's not
but it
as
wasn't
big
as significant.
Yes, it was. If he don't catch it, who knows if they win the game?
Yeah, but even if they lose, they're still going to the playoffs. This was Super Bowl 43. They're in the last minute, and they had to make a play, and he made that throw. I think it's one of Ben's greatest throws.
And I think it's one of Antonio Brown's greatest catches, even though I did an interview with him the other day, a story that ran last week, and we sat down and talked, and I asked him about his favorite catch, and he said it's still the catch his rookie year off his helmet. That was a huge catch, but he had some pretty good ones. Last year got him into the playoffs with the immaculate reception. He has some really good ones. But, yeah, now that you mention it, that definitely Ben had a window of like this to get it in. And, you know, I still debate and argue that there's not too many quarterbacks right now that I would still rather have than Ben, even though some people think he's washed up. I don't.
Well, be careful what you wish for. That's all I got to say.
I can't name 3 quarterbacks right now playing right now, not hurt, or 2 that I would rather have than Ben Roethlisberger. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more phone calls and some tweets coming up next. Stay right there.